Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves on the cusp of Disney's big venture into the world of streaming, even courting a war in the process, we thought it'd be nice to stay up to date on the ever-growing catalog and rule on what's a must or a bust on Disney Plus. And someone buy me a ticket to Florida. I'm going to Gatorland. It's Loki, episode 5, Journey into Mystery. How y'all doing? We got a special guest in the not in the comments, live with us. I'm sorry, Chris.
It's live, darn it!
I know, right? It's like live in the comments. It's also on the show with us. Chris, you've been on with us.
He's right next to me.
You've been on with us a couple times. You and Lindsay have actually come on to talk about Rick and Morty, your fan film, and Lindsay, of course, played Wendy, and you guys gave some insights there. And your other Rick and Morty fan film gave us a nice, good interview. And what do you know, Chris? After all that, you're talking actual content with us, actual content that's not your own content. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel right, Tiki. I feel right.
All right, great. All right, Chris. So right off the bat, before we get into it, I know you're a busy man, so by all means, anything you want to promote, shout it out. I'll have it linked in the description here right after the show.
Yeah. Well, I'm currently trying to raise some funds for my Maniac Cop short film. I believe I sent you that link. You can post that in the description below. And I'm currently selling some of my books on barnesandnobles.com. If you go on Barnes & Nobles and you look for my name, you can find at least 4 graphic novels by me.
Ooh, nice.
Chris.R.Notarile.
Yeah.
You know what I always associate with Barnes & Noble? The Criterion Collection. Because they always have that Barnes & Noble sale where it's like 30% off or something like that. It's great. Anyways, I'm sorry, Chris. Don't mean to derail you.
Well, 30% off in quotes, but yeah.
Right. All right. So yeah, guys, like I said, I'll have links for that stuff as well as, by all means, go to this guy. And I kind of buried the lead on who you are, Chris, because you're a familiar face. You are, by all means, a legend in the fan film sphere. You have... my God, you have a long and storied career. Would you like to tell us some of your highlights?
Yeah, I'm one of the OG 21st century fan filmmakers. I know that there have been obviously fan filmmakers before me, but Don Glutt from the 60s and 70s, and a couple here in the 80s and 90s. Dan Poole did the Spider-Man one, but yeah, and then Sandy Colora, John Fiorella, and myself in the early 2000s and onward. So yeah, I've been around for a while. What have I done? I always have to IMDb myself when I have to talk about myself.
You know what? That's a good sign, though. That's a good sign.
I know, because I don't
remember. You have a body of work.
I have to literally sit there and think of everything I've done. And okay, some people do 1 or 2 movies, and those are instantly the movies they always talk about because
totally
they've ever done. I have done so many that I could literally sit for a half hour just naming the titles of shit that I've done. Because there's so many different ones. It's nuts.
What about anything Marvel related? I'll narrow it down for you.
Good decision on that one. Marvel related. I have a Punisher web series, which is
that's a good one. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. But it was called Punisher 1979 to 1982, or Punisher 79 to 82. A Daredevil spin-off called Daredevil 83. Deadpool, the web series.
Yeah, there's the best one. Yeah.
And I'm actually going to be doing a retrospective with Damian Vargas, hopefully this weekend. Damian was the body of Deadpool, and I was the voice of Deadpool.
Nice. I know, I can't wait for this. This is going to be awesome, folks.
Yeah. So we're going to basically, we're going to watch all 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. We're going to swap some stories, and we might act out at least a scene or 2 from one of the unmade scripts.
Ooh, nice.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the Notarile verse, but let's transition into the multiverse, where we are literally at the edge of time. Folks, MCU has gone from like a dude in his garage making a robot suit to literally the edge of time and the Bermuda Triangle all rolled up into one.
Well, I think the closest we got with this in DC would be Legends of Tomorrow, where they literally went to outside time. So, yeah, they're finally dipping into that pool.
Yeah, only we haven't lost a step just big time with like Legends that we are now, But look, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, like Legends keeps losing a giant piece of the DNA each time they do that. So thankfully, Loki's in his stride right now.
Yeah. I kind of checked out once once Bebo came around. I'm like, all right, you know what? I love it, but no, too much for me.
Yep.
All right, so guys, why don't you all go around and just Chris, just right off the bat, what are your thoughts on Loki just as a whole? I feel like that's something we should establish.
As a whole, I like the show. I like the dynamic. I feel that it's beautifully shot. There are some amazing effects in it. The set design, the costumes, the acting. Tom Hiddleston is on point, and what's her name? I want to say not Sophie DiMartino, but her name is DiMartino. The one who's playing Sylvie. Someone should look that up.
Well, Chris, I think you might have got it though. It might actually be Sophie DiMartino.
Sophie, okay, what's Sophie DiMartino?
That sounds right.
Yeah,
I say it. It's
she's on point.
Sophia DiMartino.
Sophia, all right.
Sophia, all right, I was close. Sophia DiMartino. Owen Wilson's great. I like I think everything is doing really good. I think my only real problem, and before I get to my problem, the fact that they're completely embracing now a lot of these Easter eggs and comic book elements, like the Thanos copter in the newest episode.
Oh, I love the Thanos copter so much.
Old man Loki in his comic accurate suit. Seeing the comic accurate suits made to work in films, I think, is really fulfilling. And I remember back in the early days with Bryan Singer and X-Men saying, yellow spandex looks like shit on camera, and it's just like, shut the fuck up, Bryan. Okay, you don't know what you're talking about. Watch The Running Man; they're all in yellow spandex. But I think my only real problem with Loki is, and this comes from my opinions on corporations, is the director Katie Heron wanted to really say that Loki was bisexual because it was important for her, and that's fantastic. But I don't feel that they're doing enough to really show that. They did a throwaway line. Oh, yeah, there were some princes and princesses.
It felt quite mandated.
Yeah, and I felt like just have him kiss Owen Wilson. There is something going on there.
Oh my god, that'd be wonderful.
I mean, we still have an episode left. We do.
I feel that if you're going to have your first bisexual male character in the Marvel universe, make him bisexual as fuck. Let him be banging.
Well, I mean, it's like I think the problem for me with it is like I do appreciate it in terms of like it fits his character, so it doesn't feel shoehorned in that way. It's not like they're trying to fit something in where it isn't. Like it's like I can totally buy him being bi. It's I think the problem is ever since that reveal, all he's been doing is making googly eyes and has a schoolboy crush on
himself.
I know, which I love that so much that he's. It makes sense to be the perfect person for it. I mean, look, you have a great.
But I hear you,
Mobius, but I just still though it's the fact he's falling in love with himself and just keeps saving that for me though.
Yeah, it's like bisexual character ends up having the hots for his heterosexual cis female version of himself.
Yeah.
I
can see how that could be
done with that. But no, and I feel that is probably the weakest element of the show. Was that we did our bare minimum. We got to say that Loki is bisexual, and we put that he's gender fluid on his biography, on his stats, and that's it. There's so much more that could have been done with that. You could have literally just had at least one shot of him, or if not, prime Loki, a alternate Loki where he's just in a bed full of people, just like waking up.
Oh my god, dude. That would be easy. Like I could picture President Loki.
Just to throw it. He could even be having a memory. Remember when he was looking at his life? He could have had a memory, or he could have said like when Lady Sif is beating the shit out of him over and over again. He goes, "If you're going to time loop me, you could have time looped me to that one night. That was a good night."
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. So thoughts on the episode though, Chris? Because this episode was quite a departure from the norm.
I do have to say that they are keeping they're keeping me on the edge of my seat. It's very hard for me to predict where the hell it's going because I don't know where the hell it's going. WandaVision really threw me for a loop, and I think a lot of us with the whole Mephisto thing, you know, they were really leaning into it hard, and then they're like, hey, guess what? It's Agatha all along. Here's a fucking song. And I'm like, all right. I get it. And yes, it makes sense. However, you were really leaning into that, you know? And okay, fine. It's our fault for being fanboys and trying to figure everything out. And I feel that, you know, that's also part of the problem is that we're all trying to get ahead of Marvel. And I remember watching, like, these videos where everyone's like, okay, I swear, this time it's Mephisto. The insect in the room, it's Mephisto. Yeah. And even I was like trying my hardest before asking me my thoughts and opinions, and I thought I had, you know, that shit predicted, and I didn't. So I've learned my lesson, and I'm just going to sit down and shut up and go, okay, just tell me where it's going. The only logical explanation I can think of at this point is, you know, Kang is the big bad to be revealed. I mean, it has to be. And if it's not, I'll be pissed off if it's another Loki. I'll just say that.
I have a well, you kind of said it, so I'll just confirm. Yeah, I'm pretty much thinking of that too, Chris. Where basically, I want it to be Kang. I just wonder if they're gonna rip the Band-Aid off and like, okay, guys, next episode we're just going to address, instead of all this Mephisto stuff that we learned the hard way on WandaVision, we're just gonna give it to you. But I'm getting a sense that I can't fight the fear though that. Yeah, it's going to be too easy if it's Kang, because I want it to be Kang. I think we all do, but it's going to be like Loki at the end of the day.
Okay, if you want to play the Scooby-Doo thing or the Law and Order joke, like chances are it's always the first person that you meet in the first act of the episode. The villain of the piece is always someone you've met. You know that's how Law and Order episodes go, unless it's a celebrity guest appearance.
So it's going to be Miss Minutes.
I think it's Ray Liotta, you know, but I feel that based on everyone we've seen, it can't be Sylvie because it's not. We know it's not. Ravonna doesn't know unless it's Miss Minutes.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, the evidence points to her.
Minutes. I would love it if they walk into the giant fucking castle and Miss Minutes is like, "Hey y'all,
oh my god, dude,
y'all been a bunch of bad Lokis. Now I'm gonna have to kill you."
I honestly think we're kind of going there. I really like.
I think that is three possibilities, and that right now is looking to be, per your line of logic there, Chris. That's probably the most likely solution out of the three, between being Loki, Miss Minutes,
that Tara Strong is going to just voice that character and literally go, "I guess I'm going to have to murder y'all now.
Yes,
y'all shouldn't have done that." And I'm angry.
Tara Strong. Yes, I can totally picture saying that.
I mean, I would love that for her just because she's awesome, but I can't imagine the big bad actually being a giant clock Miss Minutes with the Southern Belle voice.
Oh my god,
that's the part I wouldn't be able to
think. Hologram. What if she just exists as a hologram? It doesn't have to be like a physical bell.
Even if she exists, okay.
I don't know if she's going to be giant though.
They did that with the Timekeepers, that they were the puppets on strings and everything. I get that, but like, you have to have someone. Someone has to be in control of it all, and it can't be a hologram of Miss Minutes that. Unless there's a giant clock character, or I don't know. I don't know how it will work.
You know, a thought has just occurred.
It's Trevor Slattery.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about a thought has just occurred to me who it might be. Tiki's this whole season's been on the line of thought, and again, it's been interesting to see if maybe it'll come true. I mean, it'd be cool if it did. That what if Mobius was a Loki? But what instead? What if Mobius wants to know about his life? We've set that up. He wants to know who he is. Like, did he have a jet ski? What if, in lieu of a jet ski, and I wanted to get that jet ski, I'm just saying, what if the reveal where the guy who wants to burn the TVA down actually created the TVA?
Oh, I like that. I like that.
What if that Mobius somehow lost his memory?
Yeah, I'm saying something happened.
Or it implies that something happens, like it implies maybe that something happens, like when he goes to take the TVA down, he figures something out where it's like, oh my god, I now see my grander purpose in all this. I'm the one. Wow.
Or like he's the variant of basically what if like Owen Wilson, like the variant of who he's actually based on is actually the guy or something
like that. Something like that. Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. I wonder if they're going to rip off the Band-Aid or not. So
I feel if they did that, All right, there have already been way too many Kang Easter eggs to begin with, and I'm not going to go into the sculpting of the timekeepers themselves, but I am going to go, first off, Ravonna Renslayer is Kang's girlfriend.
Yes.
Second, in episode 5, we go past a post-apocalyptic Avengers Tower, which has the letters Q-E-N-G, Kang, which is Nathaniel Richards' business in the future, and that, of course, is Kang. Kang is Nathaniel Richards from the future. He's a descendant of Reed Richards.
Yeah.
So they're leaning hard into that one. And if Ravonna is specifically trying to defend whoever the hell is responsible for this, why else would she, if she's just another cog in the wheel, why is she, working so hard, knowing full well that the timekeepers are fake, that, all of this is bullshit? Why is she doing it? She has to know that who is behind it all, and she has to be involved somehow, and the only logical answer is that it has to be Kang.
I'm hoping you're right, man, because again, I'm absolutely with you that we've dropped all these Easter eggs.
The other way, Ravonna's a 9-to-5er, and I don't know anybody working for minimum wage that wants to literally defend the universe.
I hear that.
Also, think about it. We have Alioth, the giant, essentially the giant smoke monster, kind of Galactus knockoff from.
It's good to see the black smoke monster from Lost get in work.
I love that it's kind of a mixture of that smoke monster from Lost and like the Galactus cloud from.
Right.
A little bit of Parallax in there too.
Yeah, but
Parallax is more of a fart monster.
True. So Alioth is a big Kang pull, where if I recall it correctly, like Kang went up against Alioth a lot, and then basically it seems like they've re-engineered it so Alioth is the barrier versus like Kang putting up a barrier to get away from.
Well, yeah, because Alioth. Kang probably whipped his ass into shape and says, "I own you now."
Yeah, sure. So that's a great. I think it's kind of some clever engineering of that idea. We're going to use him as the thing. So yeah, we're using a lot of Kang. Chris's point is absolutely on par here. Whereas we've used all these Kang lead ups. I mean, it's like if it quacks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, I mean, it's a duck. Let's make it Kang. Why not?
And if you go back and look at WandaVision, for example, I could see how it's not Mephisto. There are obviously throwaways, and I know that they even put that joke. I know that was a joke on purpose in episode 1 of Loki, where the little Italian girl points to the mosaic and there's a devil, and I go, "Oh, Mephisto," and Lindsay's just like, "It's not." I go, "I'm kidding."
The horns thing was clever, though. It's like, oh, it's a little.
The horns thing was clever, and I just assumed that was there as that sort of a joke for us who spent the last 2 months watching WandaVision screaming Mephisto at every goddamn turn, and it wasn't. So, but if you watch WandaVision, you can see that, like, okay, it wasn't. It makes a little bit more sense. The thing that threw me for the loop when I realized, because for the longest time I was suspecting Agnes, and then there was that Halloween episode where she was in the car, and I'm like, huh. But then she was obviously faking it. I just was, taking it at face value, but that threw me off.
Yeah. All right.
Dragon, how did you feel about the episode?
Yeah, this is my favorite episode yet. I like how it kind of circles back to the pilot in a sense of what I really liked from the pilot, where we're giving Loki a self-reflective journey in really interesting ways, and in this case, we have just a lot of fun with all these other Loki, the kind of the brigade of Loki variants. And, again, it seems like we're really, the camaraderie there and everything. I think it's leading to sort of the emotional side of the Loki arc this episode. And I think we're going to have just kind of the plot payoff next episode, see where it all leads and just kind of where we're all going with it. So, I mean, we're getting Loki in really good places character-wise.
I think the one annoying thing about it is that you're telling me at the end of time, there's just a bunch of fucking Lokis, and that's only because Lokis are survivors. Like, everybody else gets murdered, but Loki's just survived. So it's just like literally the what's the word I'm looking for? They are the cereal that rolled under the oven that no one found.
I mean, it tracks. Every time Loki gets killed, he always comes back. So I mean, I don't know. They're scavengers, survivors. They're very cowardly.
I know. But when
I do kind of wish that
they're cockroaches.
I do kind of wish that this. I do kind of wish there was that this wasteland was a little bit more populated. Like if it was kind of more like Mad Max, where there was kind of like different, like, could you imagine if there was like an Avengers scavengers or something like that? Like,
right. I mean, what are the odds that all these Lokis found each other? Like, how big is this world they're on? Is it Earth? Is it what is it physically that they're on?
Conceptually, it looks really cool, and I feel like at face value, it's like, oh, it's the end of the universe, and there's infinite time. Like conceptually, that's cool. But yeah, I hear you, Chris. I was, I feel like I wanted it just a little bit more built out. That being said, Frog, Mother, freaking, what? It's just.
Yeah, well, the official name is Throg, but Frog Thor is also accurate. But Throg.
Okay, no. By all means, we're talking about royalty here. I will refer to him as his proper name.
It's funny. I was in my comic shop, and they had the first appearance of Frog Thor, like the big story where he turned Thor into the frog.
That was mind blowing, dude.
I know that they're never going to do this, but it would be an amazing ex machina if, like, in episode 6. They're down for the count, and also you just start hearing the immigrant song, and the fucking Throg comes flying down with lightning.
Oh my god, you're right. They're never going to do that.
And then, of all things, Kermit voice. Hear me, Loki. I have had it with you. No. I'm here for you, brother. I'm going to stop King the Conqueror.
Yeah. I like the thing. One, that'd be hysterical, and I love that. But here's what I think: if you listen on the rewatch, so the cool thing about the Throg thing is that he's in a jar and he's trying to reach for Mjolnir, which is awesome. Now you hear like some grunts and like he's trying he's like kind of almost like darn it, like you can't get to it. Sounds. I wonder wouldn't it be great if with the cameos that we've had here and there, what if we actually got Chris Hemsworth to voice Throg?
I wouldn't be surprised.
That'd be cool.
I know that'd be awesome. Having that.
And the Kermit thing would be better, clearly. But what if I'm just saying? I think that we could possibly do that.
Brother, I have finally joined you. Don't mind the size.
It's not easy being green, brother. You know that better than most.
Thor, what happened? You turned me into a frog, brother.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, just to establish right off the bat, just so we can get into it. I also love this episode.
Awesome.
I think it's the best so far. I do agree that the world building is not the tightest world building the MCU's ever had, but it's damn cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might have the potential to be, but again, it just kind of contingent on like if we get all the answers, at least we get the answers we need in the next episode, and basically how all this is going to tie into this whole kind of Doctor Strange thing we've been building upon. That's not going to be for a while, but it's kind of a wait and see.
That's going to be a hell of a mess for sure. And one thing, I just found this. This is funny. Tara Strong posted this fan art of Miss Minutes with Clippy.
That's funny.
Great.
But anyway, I feel that Loki has retroactively ruined the Eternals, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. I mean, apart from my regular logistical problems with the Eternals of the whole, we guided your civilization, and it's like you did a shitty job of it, folks. Where were you for all of the extinction level events that occurred on this Earth over the last couple of thousands of years?
They're playing by Watcher rules. I'm not saying it's good, but I think that's
they're playing bullshit because they literally go in the trailer. We've done nothing until now. And now it's because there's some evil versions of them that show up. You're telling me Thanos wiping out half of existence wasn't enough? But that aside, the fact that the Infinity Stones are complete bullshit in the TVA just shows you how pathetic these Eternals are to begin with.
Well, look, I believe me. I don't want to defend the Eternals at all until they give me a trailer that actually wows me. Because so far, I just got nothing, and that's insulting to me. But
they're all sitting around a dinner table, Dragon, in a muddy-looking building.
Okay, my points. That's what I'm saying. So the Eternals, I don't
freaking like two brown clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm giving it a shot here, but it's like the hope that again, I'm pretty sure like they're gathering around because they're acting out because Thanos is gone, and the hope is that they're going to get into the whole thing. Perhaps the Eternals are the parents.
This is such a fool's errand, bro.
Well, look, I'm just saying I'm not on their side until they give me anything to work with. I'm just saying that's what everyone's kind of like talking about this whole like Thanos, and we see the birth of Thanos with the Eternals, which I don't know if it's going to save it. I'm just saying that's
canonically so far in the Eternals trailer, they have been on Earth for the last 5,000 years, basically. That's where they've been this whole time. This whole time they've been on Earth. Thanos was on Earth. They would have known who Thanos was and what he was up to, and they even had this. The other thing is. The Eternals takes place after Endgame, So he's been on Earth twice, and they've already seen half of life get wiped out. Where are they? Nowhere!
Hey, it's not looking good so far. I have no compunction there. It's not looking great for the Eternals. It looks kind of dead on arrival.
Yeah, I would have accepted it better if it was like, set like 5,000 years ago when they first showed up.
That's kind of what I was assuming they were going to do.
Yeah, I thought they were going to maybe clean house and get rid of whatever demons and monsters were already on Earth, and then
right,
and go, okay, enjoy this planet. You're on your own.
I was thinking they were going to be in space, like for the most part. Then then maybe end up on Earth, but it's
or they first come to Earth now after Thanos, and they're like, well, a lot has happened here.
That's
well, but it would have been better if we guided the civilization, wouldn't it? Too bad we weren't here 5,000 years ago to guide the civilization.
Yep. Okay, so shifting back on point, can we dress up the set a little bit here?
Sorry.
I don't know why this image keeps going in and out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. All right, so so let's talk about the Loki Brigade. I love these guys.
Yeah, I think Crocodile Loki is
alligator Loki.
Alligator Loki.
We now know it's alligator. We have like the whole running gag, Tiki. It has to be alligator.
Terribly sorry. All right, alligator Loki. He's obviously the best. He's great. Literally every time he's on screen, it's a riot.
I think the funniest part about it was during the first real big meeting, they kept cutting back to him for reaction shots, and he's just like giving the same blank face and as if he had something to say or he was going to emote. And I could not keep a straight face because of it. I'm like, this is too funny because they're not treating him like a prop. They're treating him like a real person with reaction shots.
Totally,
and not doing anything.
So speaking of alligator Loki, I love the bond that he has with the kind of classic old Loki. The Richard E. Grant Loki, the classic suit.
Richard E. Grant, man, talk about a one-episode wonder. He killed it.
Like the moment I saw Richard, I heard the rumors that he was going to be in the show as an old Loki. I didn't put much stock, and I thought there's like people speculating, like, oh, who could he be in the show? We're having all these variants. It was kind of a logical thing to go to, but having him actually be that role, because Richard E. Grant sounds like like if you did a Thor movie like years ago, you were casting, he'd be perfect for Loki. So I always love the fact that we got Richard E. Grant. He didn't, and this episode proved like, oh my god, he's absolutely unequivocally the best guy for the older Loki. He's so great. I love his backstory, and I love how Loki's like, yeah, I want to know because we're supposed to die. What happened? So in the timeline, this guy survived for so long. It's like, yeah, I convinced that I used the magic thing we're always talking about instead of making knives for a change, and I survived Infinity War, and I just got lonely. I missed my brother, and I just realized that we're just kind of doomed. We're outcasts, God of outcasts. Just an excellent. That scene was so great to me. What he did there.
Yeah, he definitely milked that scene for all it was worth.
Yeah. Yep. And again, in that suit, I know we just keep gushing about it, Chris, but that suit seriously rocks. Just seeing it, realize it. Love every time we do that.
And Lindsay pointed this out to me. He said, my late father asked me 4 decades ago, do you really want to spend your life in makeup and tights? At 64, this getup for Loki and for Disney Plus would have made him cackle, and he's posting pictures of himself in the costume.
That's nice.
Because I remember, my dad he was big on Thor when he was a kid, so I found his old comics and whatnot. And I remember looking at the Loki costume, I'm like, okay, that's a very, comic booky costume, and obviously it's Jack Kirby and all that. And then, I think to myself, that would never work in reality. Well, I was even proven wrong.
Nice. So, one of the really great moments that kind of sets the tone just right in the episode itself, I'm still marveling at, is the kid Loki's in charge. Like this whole, basically in terms of who runs the territory here, they've elected the kid king because of very special fact.
I killed Thor.
I just love that. It's a mic drop moment of like, he killed Thor. Oh my god, no wonder he's in charge.
Yeah,
love it. We have a boastful Thor being. I'm kind of bugged we never explained the hammer, because I think the impression to me, given the boastful, I bet he represents the liar Loki equivocally with the whole, like, I killed Cap and Iron Man, I got all 6 Infinity Stones, even the alligators calling BS on that. And to me, my headcanon for his hammer is that he built a fake hammer so he could say that it's Thor's hammer. That's what I like to think is just such a boastful liar.
Yeah, but you don't think that they would be able to know that right off the bat? Like, you don't think that the hammer exudes some sort of magic or something that, they could see?
Maybe. I mean, I just something kind of looks. It's more Loki than just Mjolnir. But then again, designs and everything. I mean, I think they already know it. Surely, although I think they'd probably be more in awe of, like, at least our Loki would be more in awe of, like, how'd you get that hammer?
Yeah.
I'm worthy. No, you're not. They didn't have that scene though, so let's not dwell on that. Yeah, but like design wise and everything, the bowling alley kind of bomb shelter thing, that was cool too. I mean, just I think
Did anybody note that Kid Loki was drinking an Ecto Cooler?
I know, it's cool. Yeah, like folks, there are too many Easter eggs to count.
Yeah, the Ecto Cooler was great.
I'm getting
a giant yellow jacket helmet.
They keep using all these old products that are no longer available to us in that show, and I'm like, God damn it! Where are they actually getting the legit product, or are they just using the box and filling it up with something? Like, I want to know.
Because we do it here, and it's in like Rick and Morty, and we just keep, it just keeps popping up. The
Yeah, seriously, who do I gotta have Rick tie down to get the Ecto Cooler recipe?
Yes. So I'm sorry. So the harken back to the Void, just in general, with like some of that stuff, just with the design and everything. It's so the Void essentially, kind of a purgatory at the end of time. That I want to say the reason we have all these Easter eggs is that every time they've used the reset charge,
it goes there.
So I like to think that's what's making this so massive and bringing everything in there. That's why we have like New York.
That too. I absolutely caught that one. My thing though is, why does it look like just a vacant plane? Like, the planet that they were on in episode 3, I think.
Yeah.
Was a little
Lemaris 1. Yeah.
Lemaris 1. That looked more interesting and new to me, even though, for the most part, it was just a desert, but the lighting was just so, cool and
right.
purple and whatnot. I kind of feel that for this, if we're seeing, like, we need to know what we're physically on. Are we on a planet? Are we just on a vacant plane? Like, it's the end of time. Like, what is it exactly? What is there? Because, the end of time has been portrayed in many different ways, and one that always stuck out to me was in Superman Hunter Prey. It was a graphic novel by Dan Jurgen in which Superman Doomsday comes back.
Yeah, and Rip Hunter, they take him to the end of time,
right? Wave Rider. No, it was Wave Rider.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, they had to fight Superman or Cyborg Superman and Doomsday, and Wave Rider's like, the only way to do it is I'm going to take Doomsday to the end of time, and he takes him to the end of time, and it's just white because it's unwritten, and he gets pulled apart because there's nothing there. And that's how he killed Doomsday. And I always viewed that if it's unwritten time, it's all that. It should be, a little, I don't know. It just shouldn't look like
be ill-defined.
Seattle.
It should be like kind of like, we don't know yet. It's the end of time.
Yeah, but I'm saying it felt like Seattle, like the suburbs. If you just go to like the farmlands, like right outside the city, it just. I was expecting to see like Kurt Cobain just sitting near one of the rusted cars writing a song.
It's just a bunch of tossed salad and scrambled eggs in the Void.
All right, well, you know what? One thing I will give credit to the Void, one of the big geek out moments for me was that Bermuda Triangle moment. I thought that was just maybe one of the coolest things conceptually I've seen on this show so far.
You talk about with the boat coming in?
The boat, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I thought that was just really well done, just visually how the boat just comes in and the reaction and shocks on everyone, and kind of like how authentically old-timey the boat looks, and I don't know.
Assuming that everybody that is there is from a reset charge, right? So the question is, what the hell was reset that made them go there? And second off, how does that work in a linear fashion? You see, if I go back to the year 1929, and I set off a reset charge, and it goes to the end of time, shouldn't everything be getting dumped there at once? How timey-wimey shit, man.
Yeah, it's a whole...
It kind of makes you wonder, like when is the flow of time happening? Now, I can understand you're in the TVA, and you set off, and you prune, Loki gets pruned, and then moments later, Sylvie gets pruned, so there's a 5-minute gap, because in the TVA, time moves differently, but in terms of reality, when does shit get it's kind of weird.
Yeah. So
and then it begs the other question: once something gets pruned or there was a reset charge, was it always pruned, and was there always a reset charge? Like, how do they know that shit's happening? Like, it gets annoying because essentially, if you're in the TVA, you should be moving through time at the speed of time, dealing with problems. You shouldn't be going back into the past unless someone from the future comes. But there should not be a variant that's occurring or a Nexus level event that's occurring in the past that they have to deal with now. I don't know.
See, this is the thing I keep wondering, Chris. That if by the end of the season we're gonna with whoever the reveal is, hopefully Kang, that we're gonna now is like Kang's just messing with us. Like, yeah, he doesn't really care about the rules that much. It's just he's messing with time. He's just made the rules kind of arbitrary. Who knows? Maybe
if we get Kang, there could be something that could happen that could lead into Doctor Strange, or I guess it was Spider-Man. Doctor Strange 2. It was Doctor Strange 2. So my theory is that Loki and Sylvie and Mobius and whatever could break the sacred timeline.
Yeah.
And that would cause the multiverse of madness. You know how Sylvie basically bombed the timeline in episode...
I honestly thought that was going to cause the multiverse.
I did too.
Yeah, that's kind of what we visually teed up with the intro, a little video.
Well, I think that could be the case. I think the case could be that they may actually get away with this time and create the multiverse of madness, which would be... Because everyone's talking about Ant-Man of the Wasp: Quantumania, but now no one's talking about Doctor Strange. And I'm like, well, wait a second. Whoa. That's the multiverse of madness, and we're dealing with variants. Variants
as far as I'm concerned, Doctor Strange is like the closest thing that this phase has to an Avengers movie.
Until maybe a Fantastic Four at the end, but you're right. Yeah,
right.
It's the Civil War. It's the biggie.
Yeah, it's the Civil War. Exactly. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
And then you're going to have Spider-Man No Way Home, which, too many Spider-Man, but you'll have that.
I don't trust anything until I see a trailer for that one. I don't trust any of it.
So I'm saying...
That's just literally the subtitle, just Spider-Man 3, too many Spider-Mans.
But I feel that.
Why are there so many Spider-Mans?
A Carl Mordo title.
The ad only said there'd be a few Spider-Mans. All right, I'm done.
Out of here. Get him out.
Right.
I feel that they're going to break the timeline, though. I think that's the only way to do it. It's if Loki is a chaotic character, and you now have at least 2 Lokis that are going in there, and we don't know what the hell Mobius is up to at this point. The only logical answer is to give it a Snake Plissken vibe, which is fuck it, destroy the tape, shut down the world, destroy the timeline.
Sure.
Okay.
So we spoke of you spoke of Sylvie earlier. So the whole Sylvie and I think one of the big scenes that stuck at me was this Sylvie and Ravonna scene where we had that tense Ravonna's BSing Sylvie and Sylvie kind of tell we have missed minutes is like the tension in the rooms. Like, I'm searching for that time craft to take us to the void. And it's taking a little time.
That was definitely a Total Recall moment. Remember when the guy came to him and he started sweating and then Schwarzenegger shot him because he knew that he was in reality.
Yes.
It was the same. It reminded me of that.
Yeah. And I just love the realization. Wait a minute, I just proved myself to get there. It's like
because when I was watching that scene, and Ravonna says, "Yeah, no, we totally have a spaceship that can go to the edge of time." I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That sounds so stupid. That sounds really stupid. And then, you're lying. Okay, cool. I actually audibly reacted to that because I was like, that sounds really dumb. Are they really?
Can you imagine just a whole episode of Sylvie and Ravonna just on this stupid spaceship?
It would go into CW territory, and
right.
So I'm glad that was a lie because man, I'm taking everything at face value. So they lied to me and they got away with it. So good for them.
You know who's been really impressive in this show as it's gone on? B-15. B-15.
Yeah, I agree.
She's gotten really impressive. We had that scene where we have her her being confronted by Ravonna, and we had we had that great moment of you want it, she needs it, just calling out who are we serving?
She is a bench quarterback in this.
Well, how so?
Well, she's a badass, agent, right?
Yeah.
And she has not been
Loki
to do a whole lot of badassery in these last couple of episodes. But she did have a moment where she basically told Ravonna, hey, guess what? You're fucked.
Yeah.
Do you think that she would come back in the 11th hour and kick some ass if someone frees her. Like, let's say you think, oh yeah, that's right.
Mobius, remember Mobius goes back to burn down the TV, so I'm sure that's going to happen.
I set myself up for that one. So yeah, Mobius is going to free her, and then she is going to, go back in the game and kick some ass. All right, cool, great.
There you go. Yeah.
Can I just set one flag into motion that I just want to will into being? I just want it to happen so bad.
Right, what?
Okay, so we're all wanting to see Mobius and the jet ski, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine if Mobius's big return to the TVA is him
not jet ski.
Yeah, him just riding down the hallways of the TVA on a jet ski.
You mean is it going to be float or just the jet ski?
Just the jet ski, Dragon.
Okay, I'll take it.
No, he'd have to come through a portal where there was water.
Right, and the water would
Yeah. As cool as that would be, I don't think that'll work. I mean, that you might as well just come in blazing. I get knocked down by Chumbawamba.
I think ultimately what's going to happen with the jet ski thing is the last episode we're going to have. It's going to be like the Coda epilogue thing where Loki's going to get Mobius a jet ski.
No, absolutely, and Loki will steal it straight up. Like, I got you this jet ski. Wow, where'd you get it? I stole it. It's yours. Don't worry. Just enjoy it.
Loki, come on.
It's a jet ski. You like jet skis.
Or even better, is it stolen, Loki? No, of course not. You're lying, aren't you? Doesn't matter. Just take it.
Well, I guess I'll enjoy it, but I can't be 100% guilt-free.
Boris is on the jet ski and like, wow, this is great. Anyway,
also, just Beowulf has been in the comments. Beowulf,
yeah.
I'm terribly sorry. We've been I didn't mean to ignore you. We've just kind of been locked in the conversation. So he's agreeing with the Miss Minutes thing. Muppets as Marvel heroes would be amazing. It'd be a fun diversion for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they own the rights. They could get away with it.
Yeah.
Like a Rolf Wolverine or something, Gonna cut your face off, bub.
Oh God. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. So happy to have you with us, Beowulf. Just making sure I shout you out. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. One thing Ramona want to hit because we don't really. I assume she's going to pop up as well. Now, either being at the TVA going up against the Mobius, given their dynamic they've had, just kind of up to this point, the whole betrayal, just like she pruned Mobius. Either that, or she's going to show up again if we have Kang. It's like, oh, my most faithful follower, I saved you. Here you are, or something like that. But I think the question, Ramona, is like, is she in the know and just kind of playing dumb, or is I think the scene with B-15 indicates she's in denial just to keep the lights on, just like serving a power that she believes in, but she has no idea what it is. She's blind faith versus Mobius is shaken
some
faith.
Semblance of what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, does she know that you don't die if you get pruned?
That's an excellent question. Well, she knew about the void, so she must. She said, her whole thing to Loki is that he might be alive, so she knows about that. Yeah, she knows that the void is a whole. She probably knows about.
So let's just say only her. I'm assuming everybody else thinks you die when you get pruned.
Yeah, that was my impression. Everyone else thinks you die, but she knows.
That's
my impression.
I wonder if C-23 is still alive.
Oh, well, yeah, she got...
Because she's a badass agent, too, and she got pruned, according to Ravonna. So she would be there, technically, would she not?
Logically, yeah. She's probably...
Unless Ravonna's lying about her being pruned.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also the question, maybe she just killed her instead of pruning her to make sure she actually stays dead, because, Mobius couldn't find her, but then again, if she's in the void, who knows? No one knows. They might have said prune, though. I can't think of it offhand if we said the word, but regardless, speaking of Mobius, so again, it's funny, though, with the jet ski, I love that we're working our way up to the jet ski with the pizza delivery car.
Yes.
We're
building delivery
up.
car was a good predecessor.
It's the fact that he's never driven a car, most likely.
Dragon, this is the closest that we're ever going to get to the Pizza Planet car.
I know.
In an MCU
I was so happy for a part of me. Like, if they made that yellow, it would be.
I know, right?
If it were yellow,
had a little rocket on top.
I'll just take the clear pizza slice, and I'll take that if it were yellow. Those to give me something close. But anyway, it's a pizza truck. Anyway, so. Mobius had a really sweet goodbye with Loki. I thought that was just.
Oh my god! One of the best man hugs in the MCU, as far as I'm concerned.
Initially, I thought it was. Initially, my instinct, I think it's intentional, that you're supposed to think, "Oh, Loki's probably stealing something from Mobius right now." But that wouldn't make any sense. And he's grown. You know, it's like, no, I'm not going to steal from my buddy Mobius. At least so far as I can tell.
Well, I read something interesting that basically because he has been alone for so long and has never truly, felt loved, that when he gets praise or when he gets affection, he really cherishes it. So I think that's another thing too, going into it, knowing that about the character, realizing that this is someone who actually has worked hard to give him a second chance, that he actually does, care about him so much he needed that.
Yeah. Also, I love how he ribs him with the whole, saying to Sylvie, "You're my favorite." It's cute. Okay, let's see. So before we talk about the Loki Sylvie stuff, I want to get in I think the MVP funny scene of the episode. President Loki and the assumed army of other Lokis, given they all have horns and stuff, just various degrees of variant, all betraying each other.
Of course, they would all betray each other.
And I love our Loki's reaction. Just the 2012 Loki's reaction to all this, and just like a wake up call. Oh man, yeah, this was exactly what I do.
I would like the highlight for me was, of course, the arm.
Yeah, the alligator. Loki biting the hand off. Cat goes the full Captain Hook on President Loki, and also a bit of a Dark World reference.
I didn't even make that Captain Hook comparison. That's a good call.
It's just like Captain Hook, but also it's a Dark World reference where Loki faked cutting Thor's hand off when he was about to get the hammer. So now, eating the hand, biting the hand that feeds us. Yeah. Just a hilarious scene that this makes sense. And I was looking forward to President Loki all season. I actually called something. I called that President Loki, based on the marketing, was not going to be our Loki, that he was going to be a variant before we really kind of knew the variant thing necessarily. Well, I mean, we knew it. We had the term variant, but we didn't see it in action. So I was just assuming, maybe that's not our Loki. So yeah, I have season 2 hopes that we'll have President Loki return. But I mean, if we don't, this was serviceable enough. I enjoyed it. Okay, let's see. So these two crazy kids sharing a blanket. Let's talk about Loki and Sylvie.
All right. First of all, I agree with Sylvie. The blanket did genuinely look pretty lame. As far as heat protection goes.
Yeah, needling away the sentiment a little bit,
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't have much to add about the Sylvie and Loki stuff that hasn't already been said.
Sure. I just like that it's, we're setting up the whole "you won't betray me" thing, and there has been a genuine trust established, which, again, just knowing these characters, we know Loki's, as he kind of calls out here, "I've betrayed everyone I've ever loved for a long time." This is the first time I feel like I don't want to do that. So I'm wondering if they're going to go in the direction of, is Loki going to betray Sylvie or vice versa in the last episode? I wonder if I'd like if they didn't go that direction. I'm not saying they couldn't win me over. They'd sound really clever with it, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a question what are we going to do afterwards? Well, maybe we'll figure it out. Kind of the idea of outcasts aren't outcasts if they find other people. If they kind of find if they commiserate amongst each other. So that was a cute scene. The whole them thinking, oh yeah, the TV, they're crazy, right? The whole two of us it's it's the whole skirting around the fact they're crazy about each other. It's cute.
Yeah. All right. What do y'all think of Richard E. Grant just going into boss mode at the end there?
That was cool, and I got a little misty during his final line.
Oh, absolutely.
Glorious purpose.
What I loved about that is that shit-eating grin he has on his face is just like Richard E. Grant, he literally transforms into Tom Hiddleston in that moment. It's such a good performance.
It is. The thing I really like about him on the rewatch is the idea that his last action is recreating an illusion of Asgard. So this character from this episode, his whole thing was going back to Thor, going back home, and he wasn't able to do that. So in his last moments, he was able to go home again in a sense, and he got the death that he ran from in Infinity War. Finally, I thought that was a really great fate for him. I like that.
Totally. All right, and then
we enchanted Eliath, and we looking at the Citadel.
And it looks like the title screen from Dragon's Lair.
Pretty much.
All right. Or Dracula's Castle, maybe. I don't know. Very, very spooky castle vibes is the point I'm getting at. Very spooky castle.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell is going to be in that thing.
It's Howard the Duck.
Who is going to be in What If, by the way?
I know. I'm excited.
I'm so excited for What
If.
If.
What if it's the Grandmaster?
Oh, man.
Oh boy.
Jeff Goldblum.
You know what?
Just kind of like,
man.
Hi, Loki. You and I haven't met. I met another version of you. Not you though. Same concept though. Wild idea. Come on in. I have I have some crepes.
Oh my god. Yeah, honestly, that would be like a Trevor Slattery twist that would actually like somewhat make sense.
He is the Grandmaster.
Exactly. Oh god. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think we pretty much run the gambit, right?
Yeah, Chris, is there anything else you can think of you'd like to talk about with the episode, or we're going to wrap up?
I think we reached a max capacity on that one.
Okay.
All right. Chris, any other plugs you want to get in there, just really quick?
Be sure to check out my channel, Blinky500 on YouTube, and just subscribe. I guarantee you'll find something that you like on it.
Cool. All right. Well, folks, that'll do it for us this week as we holster our remotes till the next installment calls for the draw. Mono y mono. Just Plus and us. He's a Loki!